gamers, welcome to another video on my channel. And today, as you can see by the title, I'm going to pick my favorite Dreamcast games. I was going to pick 10, but the Dreamcast have so many great titles that I decided to pick 12. Of course, that these picks are always debatable. And they can change, because I only played and finished Shenmue and Sonic Adventure a couple of years ago. And some games that I continue to play during the years, I like them more and more each year. So let's see how my top 12 looks like. Sonic Adventure 1. I know. Most of you put this game much higher in this list. But I didn't like Sonic in 3D as much as I like in 2D. Because I didn't have the feeling I was playing a platform game. I have the feeling of playing a racing game. We saw Sonic from behind and we just go left or right to avoid the enemies. The camera angles are also not that good and I die many times without knowing why. Yet I like Sonic voice acting, it was very cheesy. And the music was great, so despite I prefer Sonic in 2D, this is probably my favorite Sonic in 3D. The House of the Dead 2. Who doesn't love a good arcade game? I love playing light gun shooters, and that passion begins when I saw Virtual Cops in the arcades and later in the Sega Saturn. I love the simpler gameplay, we just need to point and shoot. I know it have poor voice acting, but who cares? This is an arcade game, not The Last of Us. The game have a wide variety of enemies, the bosses are excellent, and the music is appropriate to the game involvement. Also, for me, that love light gun games, it have many replay value.
Don't come! Thank you. Please take
Soul Calibur. Does any of you is old enough to remember when this game comes out? It was an arcade perfect conversion. No one was ever seen graphics like this in a home console. It was a huge jump from previous generation and from the previous game in the series, Soul Edge. And it wasn't only the graphics, it had more characters. The gameplay was much more refined, and as always with great music. I don't like very much 3D fighting games, but it's impossible not to love this one. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Honestly, I prefer one-on-one fighting games, because it is easier to master only a character. But the gameplay in this game, the combos, the hype in the tournaments is unmatched. This is a game that pleases everyone, beginners and top players, because it's a game with characters that everyone loves. Spider-Man, the Hulk, Wolverine, Iron Man, Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Strider, Morrigan, that appeals to beginners and top players for the hype gameplay and combos. Even this year, 20 years after the release, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is in the main stage of the biggest tournament of all, the EVO 2025. And for that, we can see the quality of the game and the passion that players continue to have for this game. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. At the time of the release, I didn't like that much the Street Fighter 3 series, because I prefer the characters from Street Fighter 2 and I struggle to master the parry technique. But the EVO moment 37, where Daigo the Beast Umehara parried the Chun-Li super art, made me play this game more serious. And now I accept the new fighters because some of them are also playable characters in Street Fighter 4 and 5. And Ibuki, for example, is one of my all-time favorites. Garo, Mark of the Wolves. Just like Street Fighter 3, the roster of this game is almost all new characters. The only face that you knew was Terry, but at least he is a pretty face. But contrary to Street Fighter, I love the new fighters, Hawk Howard, Freeman, Gato, and especially Big Janet. I love blondes, pirates and big big combos. The gameplay is not hard to master, and already pre-ordered the City of the Wolves Deluxe Edition to play day one.
Round 2. Fight!
Skies of Arcadia. Skies of Arcadia was the second RPG that I played in my life after Grandia 2, and I love it. This was an excellent main character, and what I like the most, besides the wonderful characters and the world, is that this game puts great focus on exploration. We have a flying airship, and talking about the flying airship, I love the flying airship battles, and of course this game have a good story since the beginning to the end. In my opinion, this is still one of the best RPGs ever made, and it makes me sad to think that it was released 25 years ago and we still don't have a sequel. Capcom vs SNK 2. This was a dream match for any fighting game lover. The best two companies joined forces to give us one of the best fighting games ever made. Who could dream Ryu against Kyu, or Terry vs Ken, Chun-Li vs Mai? I love that we play with 6 buttons, 3 for punches, 3 for kicks. We have lots of options to play: radio match, 3 on 3, 1 on 1, survivor mode, 6 groove systems to use, and I can't wait for the new Capcom Arcade Collection to play this game again.
Just look at the expressions on their faces. You can see the intensity in their eyes. What power!
Shenmue 2. For those who doesn't know, I played Shenmue 1 and 2 for the first time in 2021, and I love it. The game really struck my heart. I love the story, the characters, and the exploration we have to do to advance in the game. Personally, and unlike most people, I prefer Shenmue 2 a bit more, because it's more open world, as well as the introduction of characters that I love, like Ren, Joy, Shin Young, among others. But my favorite part in all the series was climbing the yellow building. We have surprises in the most heavy floor, and the end fight in the roof was great. Again, contrary to most, I love Shenmue 3, and I want the story to continue. So let's see what the future holds for us.
旦那様、どちらへいらっしゃるので?
Power Stone 2. This is one of those games that I love more and more every year. And since I was a father and my son started playing with me, I love it even more. This is probably my all-time favorite game playing in co-op. I love the simpler gameplay. We just need to press a button to do the super moves. We can grab all type of weapons. In many stages we have lots of traps, and when our character grabs 3 power stones, we gain full power with strong moves and super moves at our disposal. This is one of those games that I found very difficult for someone not to like it. And just like Capcom vs SNK2, this game is going to be in the new Capcom Fighting Collection.
Now, your journey has only just begun. What a massive...
Resident Evil Code Veronica. Because I never had a PlayStation 1, Code Veronica was my first Resident Evil, and I love it. It was probably the hardest Resident Evil ever, because of the very limited ammunition and hard puzzles, enemies and bosses. But it was a great ride. I didn't let go the game until I finished. I played every single day. I love the story of the Ashford family, and I love it so much that I bought this game again for the Nintendo GameCube and PlayStation 3. And this game was the source of my passion for this wonderful series. Claire is still today my favorite character in the series, and I love her design and Resident Evil 2 remake. And talking about remake, it's about time Capcom to do the remake of this one too. Grandia 2. This was a easy pick for me. I love more and more this game every year. I love that this game don't have random enemies encounters. We can see the enemies in the screen, This way is much better to explore the map, without having to fight every minute. The battle system is also by far my favorite in any RPG, and the story and the characters is great. I love the love triangle between Ryudo, Elena and Milena, and I also love so many great secondary characters like Tio, Ronan, Marek, Melfis. The story between the Battle of Granas against Valmar is great, and I love it so much that I also bought the Grandia collection for the Nintendo Switch. And is one of those games that I try to finish at least one time every year. So that's it, gamers. Those are my favorite Dreamcast games. Please tell me in the comments yours too. As always, I hope you like this video and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.